Another episode all about semis, how about it, drivers. Hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, 500 subscribers. So I figured what a good time to put out a video, and thank you guys for supporting me and everything. I mean, I'm just super ecstatic that we got to that milestone. So without further ado, I'm coming into the close of the week. It's Friday, and here is the long awaited application algorithm that I created for keeping track of my loads, the money that's coming in, and everything. I had promised I was going to put this out when I did my interview on Lean Truckers video, interview that he did with me, and a couple people wanted to know about it, and I created this algorithm through using Excel as a background application to run what I do. And this here that you're looking at on the screen is actually this is my actual week for this week. So I have this set up. It will tell me everything I need to know, real time, real calculations. And this is how I have it set up. I haven't decided if I was going to, market this or not, if anybody's interested in this, but it really helps me keep track of everything. So I'm just going to run through it real quick and show you guys what's involved in this. All right. Somebody was just trying to call me. Of course, as soon as you start recording the video, right? So what you're looking at, each one of these are loads. So I have these set. I have this set with 6 loads. You're doing more than 6 loads long hauled, and you're good, but you can add as many as you want. Over here this week we killed them. 10.7 was our gross. Our week profit 54.91, and that's what's going into the profit account, right? The week driver, this is what I'll pay myself. This is what the business did before paying me and after the fuel, and this is what we actually did in fuel. 1,584 in fuel. And then we've got miles was 3,000 miles, and of those 3,000, 235 was deadhead. Now, with that being said, these numbers here, this my driver pay, and these are actually going to change because I inflated my last load fuel. So when I change my fuel, and I'll show you guys this. We go to the last load, and that's this load here, and I have the fuel here. So if I change this and say 0 fuel, bam, and it even tells me what my fuel cost is. So if you see up here where it says estimated fuel cost, now once I hit enter, once I hit enter, which I will return or whatever. Now if I go back up here, you see our week fuel has went down to $1,084. Did you catch that? Real-time calculations right here. So, and it also decreased my pay, or increased my pay actually, because it said I was at $3,600. Now that savings in fuel has translated into me making some more money, and also the week profit has went up. For simplicity, I'm gonna make some changes in this top load here, so that way you guys can see the numbers actually change. So let's say this load was, we're going to say this was a $3,000 load, we should see our gross jump up from 10.7 over here accordingly to match that 3,000. So once I type 3,000, bam, you see that? $11,000 is the profit. We're going to go back, make that back to 2,500 because this is my actual sheet and I don't want to screw it up too much. Fuel. If I change my deadhead, right? I had 0 deadhead when I did this load, so it didn't cost me anything. But you see my deadhead fuel here? It even tell me how much my deadhead fuel cost is, and it's 0. But let's say if I had 100 miles deadhead, look, it tells me it cost me $64.55 in fuel roughly to drive there. And that'll factor in over here into my fuel costs. And you see it gives me my estimated fuel costs. Now, if I make this back to 0, look at the estimated fuel costs here. So let's go back, make this 0. Come on. All right, well, we're just going to go here and go 0. Now, our estimated fuel costs just went down to $252.37, right? Real-time calculations. And also, if you was paying attention, our rate per mile. Now, let's say if I made this $3,000, watch the rate per mile change again. We're going to say $3,500. Bam. And that changed our rate per mile to $8.95. So I think you guys get the gist of this. And like I said, these calculations give you real calculation here. It actually tells me how much drive time is going to take me to get here. All this is customizable. I set my average speed at 55 to compensate for a truck. It'll tell me what's my pay out of this load. So $2,500 would actually go to me is $900 after fuel expenses. No deadhead costs. It'll tell me my my deadhead fuel costs like I showed you guys. I can actually put my current fuel mileage in here, and if I do it, let's say I got 140 gallons, it's telling me I can go 770 miles on that fuel. If you want to get technical, you know, I don't always put that in there, but we don't have to do that. We're gonna make that back to 0. My percentage that I take out is 40% for myself. So my driver pay percentage is 40%. And then that is where you get its calculations from. And each load is like that. And then I have it set up where I went Jacksonville to Cartersville, Georgia. It was for Budweiser. And the broker was Convoy. Again, tells me my fuel needed to travel that 391 miles. And then again, the driver's pay, and it calculates all of this. What you see over here is the week. This is the week profit, and again, customizable, tailorable. When I used this initially when I was with Landstar, I actually, if you guys know, I had hired a dispatcher, and I actually had her percentage in here will come out as well. So you can actually add that in for whatever your needs are, and have your calculations come out. And then if you're leased on, you can actually add your down in here in this section. I have a different sheet I can show you guys I had made, and I would add my whatever my weekly deductions was for Landstar. They because they were reoccurring, so I had those added down here, and as they changed, I would edit them accordingly. So let's say something unexpected happened, and as I took an advance, I will put that advance in here. It will reflect up here out of the gross because I knew Landstar was going to take that out, so I could see what my actual cost was going to be. And it's like I said, this is completely customizable to what your needs are. And with that being said, this is pretty much how I do it. And when I get to a gas station and I'm going to fill up, because I always enter this stuff after I fill up my gas. So like this fuel cost per gallon was $3.55. Yeah, it was high. And then but the actual fuel cost me, because remember the estimated fuel cost was $252. I actually put $250 in. So, and I'll do that every load when I stop. Now, what's going to be different over here? Like I said, these numbers are going to be a little different because this price that I have is the pump price. This is not what my discount price is. So when I get my bill, actually today, from Pilot, my fuel bill is actually going to be a lot cheaper. I can't really say that I'm at 1,500 because I'm literally getting loaded right now on load number 5 right here. Going back to Orlando, sorry. Going back to Orlando, once I leave here, I'm going to go ahead and fill up, and then whatever that fuel cost is, I'll add it in here and it'll reflect, and then I'll have my numbers. And but then when I get my fuel bill, it's going to be discounted. So I'm expecting to be in the ballpark of about $1,300 and not the actual 15 that I had put on here just for demonstration purposes. So with that, this is what I use, and this is how I keep track of the loads and what I'm going to pay myself and whatnot. And then once I get, all the funds in the account, I have a different procedure for taking out and putting the money in various different accounts, like the tax account and my profit account. All that comes out of the week profit. That's what will come out of the week profit. So again, we had a great week. Happy about that. I ran 3,000 miles, but I promise you it didn't feel like it. And I was in the Southeast mostly. I had 2 cancels. One was my fault, and the other one was the broker's fault. So it kind of got a little hairy because it was always my last load that was taking me back to Florida. So this load that I'm on is a recover load, and we are going to make it. So I'm going to talk about that in another video, but I wanted to shoot this because I promised I would. And again, I appreciate you guys supporting me. Glad that I made it to my 500. And peace out. Hope this information helped you. And if there's anything I can do to always help you guys, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Like, rate, and subscribe. It's your boy QDZ, the Double Easy. Another episode of All About Semis. LBID drivers.